Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope we're doing well, and today we're going to be doing a look at the box office for The Joker, and also looking ahead to this weekend where we've got films like Charlie's Angels, the reboot, 2019. Oh boy, coming out this weekend. Also, a couple other films as well. So starting off first with The Joker. The Joker is now at $988 million. $988.5 million. That means that it is about $12 million away from hitting the billion-dollar mark, which many suspect will probably happen by around this Saturday, and if not by this Saturday, by this Sunday. It just always makes me happy to see this film get closer to this mark, because it's a mark that has been constantly said, oh, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, it didn't have China, it's slowing down too much, my name's John Campia, and I'm wrong, and I can never admit when I'm wrong, but hey, it's okay, bud. We all make mistakes. You made a mistake with Aquaman saying, it's coming out in December. That's a terrible time of the year for this film to come out. It's not going to make any money. It made $1 billion. Oh, this film, Joker's never going to make $1 billion, and now it's $12 million away. Either way, really great news because it's a great film. Like all joking aside, all shots fired aside, it is an excellent film, worthy of money, worthy of time, and it's just really great to see this happening. $315.7 million here domestically, $672 million in the international box office. This is a hit in every single way you could possibly explain what a hit is. The fact that it still only costs about $55 million or so to actually produce the film. Obviously, with marketing, it'd be a little bit more than that, but still, that's absolutely amazing. This is a film that probably costs at max $85 to $100 million when you add in marketing costs. So the overall return on investment of this film is incredibly high. We've already talked about how it is now percentage-wise one of the highest-grossing films, one of the highest-grossing comic book films of all time. If you take the budget and you divide how much it's made by the budget, it's incredible, right? It's absolutely incredible how much money this film has made, and there's a very good chance that you could see this being one of the highest-grossing films, period, let alone rated R films when you actually compare it to the budget. Now, is it going to be the highest-grossing? No, because there are films that have made a lot of money on thousands of dollars worth of a budget. I look back to Paranormal Activity, which was a very huge success at the box office because it made hundreds of millions of dollars, but it cost thousands of dollars to actually make. So it's not going to get to that point as far as percentages go, but still going to be very successful nonetheless. And did I mention, all without that China release. Now, going into some of the long-range forecasting, this is coming from boxofficepro.com, and things are looking a little bit interesting for this upcoming weekend. So obviously we got Charlie's Angels coming out, which is expected to not come in at number one, which makes me happy for a lot of different reasons. Oh, it's because you hate women. Oh, okay. All right. Go back to your cave, please. Anyway, so Charlie's Angels is set to make $15 to $22 million for the 3 days of this weekend. That's actually 5% less than what it was last week, meaning that projections for this film are dropping. In fact, even the total domestic range of $45 million, which is the top range, to the bottom range, to $70 million, which is the top range, also has dropped by 5%. Keeping in mind that this is coming out at several screens, 3,300, not the most screens out there, but still a very large number of screens. This just makes me happy because everything that we've learned from the marketing, everything that we've heard from the people that are attached to the film, it just seems that this is going to be a total woke fest, and no one wants that nonsense. I hope that this film gets the same treatment that Ghostbusters 2016 did when they were trying to push the same type of stupid agenda, and it fired back in their faces. I'm really hoping we get the same thing here. So if you were even planning or thinking about seeing this movie, I would ask you to reconsider. I would ask you to actually look at the interviews of the actors talking about this film, look at all the things surrounding this film, and realize that it's not going to be a film to try and entertain you. Its purpose is not to entertain. Its purpose is to promote and to preach and to teach, and that's what these films really are not supposed to be. Or rather, these are what people don't want in their movies nowadays. There's a very small group of people. So that small group of people, they might show up for it, but let's be smarter than that and not show up for it. Ford v Ferrari, though, actually looks like a pretty damn good movie. Oh, you're saying that because there's a white male in the lead. Of course you would say that. I'm not a big Matt Damon fan. I don't like him as a person. I think that he's a good actor, but I don't like him as a person. So if I was going to be critical of anything, I'd be critical of this film, but the trailers for the most part look pretty solid. This looks to come in at around $25 to $35 million and has a domestic total range of $100 million to $140 million. It's amazing how you can make money off of a film when all you do is give a good trailer, good promotion, and you don't try and preach any type of agenda. One film that I think might be a sleeper hit, and by sleeper hit, I don't mean it's going to make hundreds of millions, but I think it's going to make more than what people expect, and that is The Good Liar, which has a 6% drop from last week. And it's expected to make $5 to $10 million over the weekend and expected to make $35 to $50 million in the total domestic range. The reason why I think that number might be a little bit too low for it is because Ian McKellen is a great actor. Helen Mirren is a great actor. Those actors, both of them alone, are going to bring the older audiences out. I've seen the trailer for it. The trailer looks great. It has older audiences written all over it. And since I am an older audience at heart, I definitely want to go see that film for that reason, because it's got great actors, some of the best actors out there in the game today, and of all time, even, you could even argue. And I think that it's going to be a solid film. So I'm very excited for it. It looks fantastic. It's getting 2,500 screens, released 2,500 screens coming out from Warner Brothers. So I think that it might actually overperform. This is a 6% drop from last week, so obviously pre-sale numbers are not looking that great for it. Again, all of these numbers, the estimates are usually based on the pre-sales and a lot of other factors as well. But I think that The Good Liar might actually be one of those films that does better than what you expect, because I think those older audiences are really going to show up for it. But again, we still have to wait for the weekend, and of course, we'll know whether I'm right or not. But the average, of course, you'll see in this middle column. So the average for Charlie's Angels is likely 18 million, Ford v Ferrari 32 million, and then Good Liar coming at 7.5 million. Another film, 21 Bridges, which also just it just looks like it has agenda all over it as well. But again, we'll wait and see. It's just based off the trailer and how the trailer has actually presented itself. So actually, though, that doesn't come out until next week. My bad. Mea culpa. So 21 Bridges is going to come out the week after that. So the three movies coming out this weekend, the top three, we have Charlie's Angels coming at number 2, Ford v Ferrari coming in at number 1, and The Good Liar coming in at number 3. So, of course, you have all the different screens and how they work out in that way. But my question for all of you, do you think that Charlie's Angels is going to be able to bring in, I think it's going to be a mostly male audience. I know that the whole goal of it is say, oh, it's about female empowerment. It's all about women. Okay, fine, great. But are you going to be able to actually bring in the females to see that movie? You do keep this in mind, that franchise, that series, and the movies that we had not too long ago, most of those were to capture the male audiences. It was to use the female gaze, or it was to use the male gaze on the actresses themselves. And then we can have a debate over whether that's moral or not, right? Because, again, I'm a theology teacher. I'm a religion teacher. I understand the problems that come around with that, because we should not look at other people as objects. We shouldn't objectify other people. However, if they're going to try and say, oh, we're going to go ahead and try and save that concept by now making it all about empowerment and feeling strong, etc., I don't think that it's going to be as successful as they want, because if they're going to take out a major part of the film that made it as successful as it was, if you don't think that people were watching that TV show and that movie, in this series of movie, because they didn't want to see pretty girls on screen, I'm sorry, but you're being ignorant of reality. And that's not saying, is that a good thing that that's why people saw it? Not saying that at all. I'm just pointing out reality of the situation here. But they're going to try and take that and say, oh, we're going to redeem it by making it more about empowerment than anything else. I don't think it's going to work out. But let me know, do you think that Charlie's Angels is going to work? Do you think it's going to make that $18 million? I think it's going to come in below expectations. Again, we see a 5% drop here. I think that the more we find out about the film, the more that they start to, especially people like Kristen Stewart and all the nonsense that she's been spouting off, I think the more that she speaks and other parts of the film, other parts of the creative of the film speak about the film, it's going to end up doing worse than what it actually is, because it has 2016 Ghostbusters written all over it. At least that's how it seems to be. And I think that that's going to have a very negative impact on it. At least I hope so, because I want Hollywood to get the message very clear that if you go woke, you will go broke, and no one wants this nonsense. Ford v Ferrari, though, do you think that that film is going to be successful? I think it's going to be the number 1 film of the week. I'm very excited for it. I'm going to try and see it tomorrow. I know there's an IMAX showing near me that I'm going to try and go to, try and get tickets to, maybe see if Freya wants to go see it with me. And then The Good Liar. Do you think The Good Liar is going to outperform? Like I say, as I said, I think that the older audiences, they tend to be drawn to films like this. They tend to usually be underestimated, and I think that they might show up for it. I know that I will show up for it because I love Ian McKellen. I think he's a great actor, and also Madam Helen Mirren as well is fantastic too. But anyway, before I end the video, I want to give a shout out to Mill Creek for sending me a couple of movies, and that is Hulk Hogan in Santa with Muscles. I did not know this was a thing. I knew that Hulk Hogan did a lot of movies, especially back during the period of the 80s and 90s, but Oh my goodness. I did not know this was a thing. This looks fantastic, and I really actually want to see this for Christmas. So Santa with Muscles. So Mill Creek, thank you very much for the Blu-ray of this. This is the Blu-ray and the digital code, so I can't wait to watch that. And also, thank you for sending me Angela's Christmas, which was nominated for 3 Emmys on DVD and digital HD as well. That's actually cool. Digital HD with DVD, you don't see that very often. Normally, you get the standard digital copy, not the HD digital copy. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, this apparently is in conjunction with Netflix. So that's kind of cool that I got a Netflix film on physical media. Again, never going to be able to take that away from me. And it looks very interesting. Based on a children's book, Angela and Baby Jesus comes from a fun, heartwarming, and poignant story from the Oscar-nominated studio Brown Bag Films about the power of family and the innocent desire of a child to ensure everyone is safe, warm, and loved at Christmas time. That sounds adorable. That sounds so adorable. So anyway, you can pick these up from Mill Creek if you're interested. So Angela's Christmas. This is a Netflix original film. And then, of course, you also have on Blu-ray, I believe this is the first time on Blu-ray for this film, is Santa with Muscles. If you like some Hulk Hogan, if you like some wrestling action, boom, Santa with Muscles. Looks like a perfect Christmas film. Muscle-bound Blake Thorne has made a vast fortune marketing health food and health supplements. He once was a nice fellow, but as his health increases, he becomes increasingly self-centered and decadent. One day he gets in a great paint gun fight that goes too far. Oh my goodness, a paint gun fight that goes too far. Blake escapes the cops by running into a shopping mall, quickly donning a Santa suit and pretending to be St. Nick. A head injury causes Blake to suffer amnesia, and an opportunistic elf decides to convince Blake that he is indeed Santa. This leads Santa to help save an orphanage filled with adorable Moppets? What's a moppet? Not a Muppet, but a moppet? From the machinations of a greedy, insane doctor. Well, that sounds quite amazing. So, Santa with Muscles. Let me know your thoughts about these films. If you've seen either of these films, let me know in the comment section below as well. Anyway, if you like this video, smash that like button, give it a subscribe, it helps me a lot. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.